Welcome back, legends. Well, she was an experience yesterday. I don't think I've had so many things go wrong in one day in all my bloody life, I don't think. We had a pretty false start. They just overflow the belt here. What happens when it's very wet is it actually can't drive up the top properly. It hasn't got a very good drive system on it, this belt. And if you go too hard, it starts just spinning the belt on the roller at the top and doesn't actually put anything out, so you got to go very slow. And unfortunately, I opened the door and it's on a button on the remote here. You press lead chute open. Well, on the other trailer I was using, you press it once, it just continues to open up. All the rest of them, you just press and hold, and it just opens up while you're holding it. Anyway, I opened it up all the way and completely overflowed everything. Wasn't a very good start to the day. And as you can see, I'm now missing my chute. So that was the second half of yesterday. It's over there on the ground, smashed to pieces. Unbelievably, the cable that lifts the whole belt up let go, dropped down onto the truck that we were transferring into, smashed the spout, but unbelievably did very little damage to the actual belt itself. We were very lucky. Still not 100% sure what caused that. I thought I might have lifted it up a bit too high and it actually put a lot of pressure on that cable, but I don't think I lifted it up that high, so maybe it just let go. But yeah, it was all action yesterday. Hopefully we'll get a bit better run today. Unfortunately, now I've lost my ability to use the spout, which was getting me about another half a tonne in the spreader, which is a bit annoying, but anyway. Let's go out steady this morning while it's nice and calm. So plan is get this road train empty today, and a bit more to do in Lonely Paddock over here, and then I'm going to go over to Jeremy, so should fill in most of the day. 200 kilos to the hectare on this barley. And I think that's, looking at the soil samples, I think that's nearly going to be enough for this year. So just have to play it by ear on that one a little bit. Each paddock slightly different. But yeah, this could be the only urea pass for the year. It's good for me. Less work I have to do. Nearly overflowing. You see on that spout up there when it dropped into the truck, just did a little bit of damage, but can't believe it didn't do any more damage to this flight. It was I had to replace a couple of bolts there. It was a bloody miracle it didn't just snap it in half. It really was. When it came down on the truck, unbelievably, there was no product or anything coming through it at the time. The tarp was rolling off as it dropped down, and it dropped onto the centre boat and the tarp rail. I thought, oh, it's bent those to the hell. Anyway, I think most of the brunt was actually taken by the spout, and it didn't hit the side, it just hit the two bars as it was coming across, and I think the two bars took most of the brunt instead of one bar it would usually hit. Like if the tarp was out of the way, it would have just hit the one bar on the way through. It may have bent it, but because there was two there, the buddy hit both of them and didn't bend either. So I was incredibly fortunate on that behalf. I thought we were in for a decent repair thing, and we had it sort of going again in 45 minutes, unbelievably. But I mean, the spout's dead, but it's only a bit of air conduct anyway. We would fix that pretty quick. turn this truck off. Stuffed it too far. Out here on the Barley in the paddock that is called Jeremy's. The big gully comes down to this paddock like this. It can get very, very wet in there, as I found out in the X9 last year. Managed to sink at about 100 metres over there. 200 kilos urea going out. Only cruise along about 17 k's, just trying to let the GPS do its thing, because Paddy's following me around, or I'm about to follow him into the next paddock. He's spraying here, box of gold at the same time, so trying to stay on the right lines, but this thing doesn't like going much over sort of 20-25 k's before it gets a bit haywire, and to be honest with you, it's that rough in this paddock, I can't go much faster than that anyway. I'll hit a bog hole or a tree hole, or there's just gullies and dips and dives and holes and stuff everywhere. It's been a rough day and a half of spreading, that's for sure. This paddock over here's got a fair few rocks in it as well, so just slow and steady wins the race. Still going out reasonably quick. Putting out about a road train a day, so 58 tonne a day. It's going out pretty smooth and steady, really. You have to ignore my windows, so I haven't got the greatest of cleaning devices here to clean them. I've got no water other than water out of a 2-inch pipe that Paddy's filling out of the dam there, so a little bit short on supplies here. This cold is going to be the death of me, I swear to God. It's a lot of coffee, painful coffee, not very nice. Just happy to be just plodding along here and doing my thing, because it's not short on energy like I was last week, but I'm short on breath, I know that. Not very nice. Not much talking to be done. Just action. The Amazon controlled our fair little top common screen here. Unbelievably, you can have a bunch of issues with these Amazons with the Pro 1200, or I think the John Deere screens even have a few issues with them if the Amazon software is not quite right. Unbelievably, the Topcon runs it without any issues, so 10 points for Topcon. I do like them as a rate controller. They're better than any other screen as a rate controller, in my opinion. I like the X35 in the Cedar as well. This one actually come with the Coolman spread heat runs. It's Apollo, I think they call them, rate controller. It's a little bit of a quarry up on this hill here. We can dig a bit of gravel out of here when they need to. I'll tell you something for nothing. Arundel has reasonably poor service, and you can guarantee that as soon as you come over here, you'll get, I probably average 15 calls a day, maybe 20. Yesterday, fielded 35 calls, 50% of them were average. Like I either had to call back or do something. 35 calls I got yesterday. I had breakdowns and overflows and just all sorts of stuff going on here, and I was getting 35 calls. Thank God for this headset. It made it a lot easier, but just trying to get service is just impossible. Yeah, there's some people who go, get a cell booster or whatever. I jumped, as you can see, I jumped from this tractor to the next tractor to spray it, and said I'd have to take the thing with me every day. It's just impossible. Anyway, just one of the problems of being a farmer. So rain prediction looks like there's another half an inch at the moment coming on the forecast. So that's why we're going hammer and tongs on the spreading and spraying. Paddy's spraying box of gold, but prescription box of gold, which is something new. I really need to catch up with him or Matt Gould and find out the reasoning behind it, because I'm not 100% sure why they're doing that, or how they come up with the maps for the prescription, but something new, never done before. Yeah, I'll have to see if I can find out how it's going. Just a bit nervous to go near anyone at the moment so they don't catch this damn cold. You're probably wondering, does it put a lot of side strain on the trailer just unloading out of the one side door? The answer is no. It actually still comes out at a pretty flat rate. It's not that big a deal. You'd think it'd be worse than what it is, but if I took the tarp off, you'd be able to see it's actually quite normal. I should have the tarp off, but it was wet when I tipped it up and I haven't bothered taking it off. Generally sucks enough air in around it to keep up with one half door anyway. It's a big no-no to leave the tarp on and unload 3 doors at the same time. That would do damage to the tarp and to the bow. I haven't ever seen it happen, but I've come close a couple of times.
Scotty, what are we talking about now? So we touched on it, I think it was a couple of weeks ago. Henry, we were talking about, I think we were going to touch on succession planning.
Oh,
and yes. How each of us have sort of dealt with that, or ideas around succession planning, I suppose.